Trade between Africa and China soared by 11% last year, reaching $282 billion, with a second consecutive year of growth since the COVID-19 pandemic. China is now Africa's largest trading partner, and to facilitate this growing relationship, young people are now turning to learn the Chinese language. Our journalist Didier Assogba entered the class of these Beninese students determined to master Mandarin. Take a look. With an estimated trade volume of over $60 billion annually, China is Benin's third largest trading partner. In this context, speaking Mandarin is a great asset. Created in 2019 and set up on the campus of Abomey-Calavi, the Confucius Institute offers a degree in translation and interpretation in the Chinese language. The students of the school are the most sought after on the job market in Africa.
Apart from my studies, I'm also a translator-interpreter for Chinese. The reason that motivated me to choose the Chinese language is that I noticed there are many job opportunities with China. If you are an intern and haven't finished your studies, you can earn up to 150,000 CFA francs a month. If you have a degree in the Chinese language, your salary can rise from 250,000 to 500,000 CFA francs.
While the guaranteed minimum wage in Benin is 52,000 CFA francs, this is a great opportunity for students like Parfait. Other reasons why this training course is so successful among young people in the economic capital are quite diverse. My mother has a big wholesale business. She's a trader. And by learning the Chinese language, I can help my mom to develop this business. According to a report published in Beijing in 2021 by the China-Africa Business Council, Chinese private companies account for about 70% of investments in Africa. China carries out more than a third of the infrastructure projects on the continent. So, to facilitate exchanges between Chinese workers and employers, interpreters are much needed.
When we teach our students the Chinese language, they also learn the culture, the behavior, attitude, and all of that. It allows us to create an honest relationship with the Chinese. We have students trained at the Institute who are not in Benin, but who work with the Chinese in countries like Angola, Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo. So the job market today for someone learning Chinese is promising.
In 2016, the Chinese spent $110 billion on international tourism. According to the World Tourism Organization, UNWTO, the number of Chinese tourists visiting the African continent is growing at a rate of around 50% each year. But the most visited countries are Morocco and Tunisia. Benin would also like to attract Chinese tourists through the students of the Confucius Institute.
Our students also serve as tour guides for Chinese tourists.
For
example, a Chinese community wanted to visit the royal treasures at the Presidency Palace. It was our students who accompanied them.
Au palais de la présidence. Ce sont nos étudiants qui les ont accompagnés. Donc c'est pour dire en fait que dans le domaine du tourisme,
in the field of tourism, there are great opportunities for these students.
Pour ces étudiants.
Cuisina is one of the leading companies of furniture and home furnishing in the West African sub-region. An expertise learned in China and an acute knowledge of Chinese, the young kitchen designer Muamin Adechokan, the CEO of Cuisina, has indeed found an innovative solution. He manufactures kitchen furniture with fully waterproof panels that meet the standards of African kitchens. To do this, he imports all the materials from China without intermediaries. His customers are large West African construction companies, and these kitchens are a great success compared to kitchen furniture imported from Europe that are less suited to the conditions on the continent.
La Chine m'a appris la langue.
China taught me the language, which is the key to success and of what I am today.
C'est ce que je suis aujourd'hui. Les Chinois sont spéciaux.
Chinese people are special. It doesn't matter if the Chinese understand English or French well, you automatically create a barrier if you don't speak their language.
Vous créez une barrière. Je suis rentré en Afrique et là,
I returned to Africa and set up my industry, Cuisina.
After traveling through several African countries, this Chinese representative is the head of the subsidiary of Jiangxi Water and Hydropower Construction, settled in Benin in 2017. This company specializes in building and construction, public works, and hydroelectricity. Liu Zhaoping is proud of his collaboration with the Beninese workers.
It is very important. These workers who have studied the Chinese language allow us to better trade between Beninese and Chinese communities.
Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Sino-African cooperation has maintained its momentum. With the development of trade, the prospects of this cooperation still have a bright future ahead and making Africa a very attractive playing field in the eyes of Beijing.